All right, we're backstage. It is Taste of Chaos, and it's beautiful San Bernardino, California. Straight off that Third Eye Blind tour, we got Chris from DASHBOARD Confessional. How are you?
Man, I'm so good. I get to play today.
So I hear you just did 9 weeks with Third Eye. How'd that go?
Well, you know, when we were presented the idea of doing a co-headlining tour at all, we weren't sure we wanted to do it. And then when they suggested, when the agents suggested Third Eye Blind, I got really excited because I know for a fact we have a lot of common, crossover with fans from seeing their shirts at my shows and going to their shows and seeing our shirts.
Sure.
That's like a simple kind of quick test of can this work or not.
Right.
Then we got along so well, became such great friends. We're going to see them next week. It was really lovely. It was a great tour.
That's great. So Steven's in good health, good spirits.
Oh,
the songs are kicking ass.
He killed it every night. He's got a great band, really great band.
Yeah, that's awesome. So now take us back a little bit. When you were growing up, who were your musical heroes, and what age did you start making your music?
Well, I had a really varied, my eclectic taste because I was getting music from my brother, who was super into metal, Metallica, and all this. When they were relatively new and unknown, and then I had a cousin that was into classic rock with Stones and all this, and then I had records that I sort of just kind of collected from tag sales and stuff, like Dylan records and Paul Simon records. And Simon and Garfunkel stuff really molded my sense of melody. Okay. And then when I got into skateboarding, that's when I started to get exposed to punk rock, because what comprised the background music of those older skate videos, and still those skate videos. So that just changed my life. And then that next step where you just get lucky and there's one older kid in school who has cool records and is willing to say, I know you're a nerd, but I'm going to sit with you and teach you what cool music is.
Yeah. Well, it's just so important to have a wide, musical variety to draw from, as an artist, as a writer. I'm sure you're constantly discovering, new music and new styles. I just saw Thievery Corporation last night at the Greek, and they're mixing bossa nova and electronic and hip hop and Indian, and Middle Eastern music. It's exciting to kind of, draw from a deeper well.
It's an there's an interesting thing going on right now. There's people like me that grew up that always liked different styles of music and incorporated them into my music. Then I had a fan base that has always given me a really wide berth to go in the different directions I like to go. But then with the advent of Spotify and the way people changed the way that changed the way people listen to music. That is more common to be that situation where your fandom is so broad, and that has really, I think, made for exciting amalgamations of different influences in one band from song to song, and it's really incredible. It's a fun time for music. Yeah,
it's more colors to paint with. You can no doubt do better art with, being able to draw from. Again, like I say, deeper wells. Yeah. So at what age did you start writing your own songs, and what was that evolution like to really find your own voice?
I think I started writing really young, but, I don't know, make-believe. It was the same as I'd finish, playing basketball or skateboarding and come inside and pretend I was a songwriter. But I didn't have any instruments or anything like that. I had a popcorn bucket with a couple of pencils and pretend I was playing drums or some crap like that. And but I got a guitar at 15, and it seemed beyond me the idea that you could learn other people's songs, and we weren't in a position where we could afford guitar lessons. So I just kind of lived with this instrument until it made sense to me, and the way that it began to make sense to me was by writing songs. Yeah. So I had some kind of innate sense of melody, probably from growing up listening to all those records. Simon and Garfunkel being a big one of those, because it's so melody driven, and so I would play a chord and I'd hear the melody, and I wonder sometimes if I'd spent time doing the traditional lessons and all that stuff, if I would have gotten enamored with the scholarly part of the instrument as opposed to the mysterious part, which leads to songwriting. So I feel like I got lucky that I couldn't afford guitar lessons, and instead I honed finding melodies within the very simple things I could play at the time.
Sure. Well, I think that's an exciting way to do it. There's so many people grow up playing in cover bands, playing nothing but covers, and it's got to tend to, work into their songwriting that they're just kind of, in a sense, copying someone. And, you kind of explored and created your own, Now,
to the degree that I could,
Sure.
I guess but everybody is everybody's influences come out, and I almost have fun trying to figure out people's influences from the melody I hear and stuff like that. So yeah, it's all connected. It's wonderful.
Yeah. I always say, whatever artist you like, find out what they were into and kind of dig deeper into their well. If you like Led Zeppelin, discover the blues. It gives you a richer sense of where they were coming from, with their music. Tell us about your latest music and what you're most proud of, achieving, writing that.
Well, I've been in this band. I started a band called Twin Forks while Dashboard's been on hiatus up until this summer. And I'm really proud of it. I did go back to those very earliest influences of like Townes Van Zandt. A lot of Steve Earle was big in my house, big crush my mom had on him, so, those records were played a lot. And that really, I was ready to really delve into that arena, where you're like, this is a traditional song structure. Where do I fit in this, as opposed to trying to carve out my own little niche. And it was exciting to do. It is exciting to do, and I'm really proud of that. And I'm excited now thinking about what Dashboard could be next. So I don't know what's what, but I've begun thinking about it. And so I guess that's the first step.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you've kind of cleared the deck and you're coming back with a fresh perspective on, not needing to follow up on any one thing, but really create something new.
I think if you go away long enough, everything you do seems new.
Sure. Well, I know you've had great success, tremendous tours. You won some awards, the MTV2, award, and some great stuff. What inspires you though to make the new music, or keep inspired to, keep on the road and keep giving people music, in a challenging time in the industry?
And it's not that complicated of an answer. Those two things, writing music and playing it for people, bring me a huge amount of joy, and it's addicting.
Yeah. So it's you do it for the love of it first, and hopefully people will enjoy it.
I love it, and I'm lucky that they enjoy it.
Yeah. Is there a dream, Bill? Is there a tour, an artist that you would love to either write a song with or go out on tour with that you haven't?
That I haven't? Man, I've toured with everybody. There's I don't know if I could answer that. I mean, there's probably a million.
Sure.
I mean, I'm a really big fan of the Mountain Goats. I don't know. Twin Forks would work with them, not Dashboard, but that's just one that comes to mind. The ones that I always love, Saves the Day, Jimmy World, have the bill that's playing tonight, or almost all of it. Newfound Glory is always one of my favorite bands to tour with. Yeah. We grew up together well before any of us started bands, and so we have so much history. And I don't know, it's a great community what we're in here, and a lot of us do write songs together a lot of the time. It's lovely, man. I know it sounds corny, but it really is like a special, close-knit family, It's great.
Yeah, well, shows like this, and of course Warped Tour and things like that, you see the camaraderie, you see the people that have come up together or cross paths on the road, and it's like a little family reunion every time they see each other, and it's exciting. It seems like the independent community is very strong and well, so even if the corporate guys are going through their changes, independently there's more tools, more avenues to get your art out there, whether it be music or film or visuals or books or whatever it is. What do you feel most excited about the independent kind of opportunities?
Actually, filmmaking. I see people that are making like full-length feature films on iPhones, and they're extraordinary. And the fact that somebody with an idea, a broke person with an idea, can excel with their music video or their feature film or what have you. I find that really inspiring.
Yeah.
It's just like, to become a filmmaker, you used to need to go to school for a long time, and there's no reason not to. That's not saying but you needed a lot of money, right? And to become a musician, maybe you need to mow lawns for 2 summers, and then you can get your guitar and you're able to start playing.
Yeah.
It's different with movies, or it was, and now it's this great time where they're leveling the playing ground. So these talented people that had no access have access. There's nothing holding them back, and we get to see their vision, quite literally.
Well, it seems like just 10, 15, 20 years ago in the record industry, people are spending $200,000, $300,000 to make a music video. People are doing it on their phones now. They're doing it on their laptops. It's just revolutionized the ability to, create a visual for your audio.
Yeah, thank God. That was silly money to be thrown around.
Oh my gosh, you can imagine the recoupment it would take. You shoot one video and the record company shelves it. Now you got to sell a couple 100,000 records just to pay for that video no one saw.
You said it.
Now, all that you've seen, all that you go through, obviously there's a younger generation. They want to do what you do. They want to be on that stage. I know it's hard to advise them business-wise, but creatively, what advice do you give to young, creative musicians and songwriters today to really get the mindset to be able to, endure this?
I would say, if you're asking me about the making of music, I would say go to as many shows as you possibly can. Go to every show, inside and outside of the genre you like, and try to understand why a song or a moment or an artist is able to connect in the moments that they do. Try to decipher what that is that they're able to do. You won't be able to manufacture that, but it'll ingrain itself in you, and it'll just kind of begin to happen.
Yeah. Well, Chris, thank you so much for your time. We can't wait to see you rock the Taste of Chaos tonight. It's going to be very, very special.
I can't wait myself. Thank you.